I'm giving Mike here, I'm giving him, or he's giving me 21 steps. All right? But we get on certain tracks, it's a nice wide turn. And by the way, an ideal track is a circle. The wider the turns, the faster the track's going to be. So we draw lane 8 on a wide track, he's going to give you 2 extra steps. Now, if I draw lane 1, he might cut a step. Why? Because I can run, if I'm the lead off, I can run faster out in the outside lane, I'm coming in faster. Or if I'm in lane 1, I'm coming in slower. Everybody understand me? I mean, I know what I'm saying, and I know Wayne will correct me any mistakes I make here, because he's the guru, real guru. But, so don't be afraid. Trial and error, everyone tries. Oh, everyone tries every leg, keep the baton moving. That's the end game. This here, by the way, this is one of my kids. That's Sean Crawford. Again, I don't expect you to know the name, but he was pretty good. Sean, coming out of high school, wasn't really recruited. We lucked out. Went to the meet, and I mean, now he's good. Don't misunderstand. He ran hand times. South Carolina doesn't AccuTrack, or at least they didn't back then. He ran a 10.7 and 21.7. Now, when you're given a scholarship, at the time, I'm at Clemson. That's a big-time track program. Not so great. But Sean was making a mistake when he's coming out the blocks. If you watched him, okay, I can't demonstrate it, but you're down in the blocks, and let's say he has his left foot forward, he was stepping out with his left foot instead of his right. So he's throwing both hands back. So everybody was leaving him in the beginning. We changed that. The kid ended up running 9.82 and won the Olympic gold in 200, 1967. Now, it wasn't all in 1 year, but what I'm saying is, some of your kids are coming out of the blocks, they're stepping out with the wrong leg. Videotape. There's someone on your team, or at least someone within the 4 years. I've had several kids that come out, little mistakes like that. That's a big deal. Thinking, I know you can't see me, but if I'm coming out the blocks, at first step, I want to short and fast, right? I want to cut down. It's all about shin angles. So this is my knee. My foot's back here. I want this. If I come out with this foot first, I'm like this. What I do, I pop up. Because that's the only way I can go. I can't push forward. Right? And again, feel free to ask questions, because I'll go further quickly. Keep the baton moving, trial and error. Okay, go. Selecting 4-1. 2 races, straight away in turn. We talked about that. Thank you, Maddie. The faster the athlete, the more turn hurts. The more the turn hurts.
Slows it down.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the more they slow down. Okay. That's why she has 35. I was 11 in the ACT. Hurdles and jumpers often take return runners because they have rhythm, potential. Had 4 runners, best optimal time. Okay. I say take your time. Add those up. My best team. Now I've had several teams run, 38 point on the men's side and 42 on the women's. But my best team, when I was coaching Division III, up where Maddie was, we had one kid that broke 11 seconds. Then we had 11:23, 11:67, and 11:84. Now you add that up, 11:84, 11:67. We're talking 46 seconds. They ran 40.54. Great exchanges. Great exchanges. I'm saying you should add your 4 times up of their 100. Now you say, well, how do you get 3 seconds? Simple. You're going to get a running start. Now I'm handing off to Miles. He's taking off. He's giving me my 25 steps or whatever. So he gets a running start. That's the same way if you time 100 meters. You time somebody, they run 100 meters, or they do a flying 100. Which one do you think is faster? The flying 100. It's about 7/10 of a second faster. Okay, 7/10. Now I'm doing that 3 exchanges. From 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. So that's 2.1 seconds you get right there, just if you don't do anything else. You get 2.1. Plus, we always refer to it as the 392 meter relay. Because when I hand off to Miles, just stand right there, young man. All right, put your arm back. Okay, now I need back even further. There's 2 meters where his feet are and where my feet are. We do that 3 times, so there's 6 more meters we don't run. There's another, at the big time level, there's another 6/10. High school girls is probably another 8 or 9/10 of a second right there. So you can see if I just had those 2 alone. And then the other mistake I see is people don't get in good enough shape. Early season, they keep the same steps. I'm giving them 18 steps. Well, that's because the person coming in, they die. Once they get in better shape, you're able to add more steps. And you add another 3 steps, you're talking at the high school level for a guy is probably 1.1, 1.2, or 0.12 seconds. For girls, probably more like 0.15. And again, I do that 3 times, there's another 4/10 of a second. So you'd add all that up, and you can see. Anything less than this, it's on you. Right? Yes, sir.
Throw in, when you put a baton in the kid's hand, they run faster than they're going to run because they're running for I've had kids run 3/10 faster in a relay than they would run on an open 100.
Especially yes, and it's exactly right. There's some kids, you know it. You've had kids, you put a baton in their hand, they can run like heck. Again, you had one, Lauren. She can't run in the open, let's be honest. But put a baton in her hand. Texas kids, they live and die. Now, Texas, they give you 20 points for a relay.
Yeah.
They give you 20 for the 100, 4x1, 4x, all the relays are 20 points, which make more sense. So then you load it, and then I say go ahead and load the relays up. And I can also tell you, when you go to the Texas State meet, Ohio's pretty darn good. Texas will have 40-some thousand people. And when they're running the relays and they're running the sprints, the stands are packed. They run 2 miles, everybody's getting a hot dog. That's just how it works. I recruited a kid, by the way. He ended up being a very, very good distance runner. But his name is Tim Gargiulo. And very good. It wasn't great, but good. He ran 30-something 5K. And I went to his high school coach. I said, he's going to run 2 miles. I said, what's he going to go out at? He said, he'll go out like a 30. Now I figured he was talking about he'll go out at 4:30 for the first mile. Right? I said, okay, makes sense. So good. Afterwards, we're talking about he meant the first 200 he's going out at 30. And a lot, that's the thinking. Different. But anyway, so potential high jumpers, hurdlers, good people. I like hurdlers because, as Coach was referring to, rhythm. And that's what running's all about. Rhythm. 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 Go ahead. What's next? Lead off. By the way, look at this. When I'm looking at our athletes, I take a board and I go from shoulder to hip, here and here. That's the angle you're coming out at. Most of your high school kids can't do that because they're not strong enough. That's where, Mike was referring to plyos. Plyos. But that's an angle I'm looking for. And this knee comes here, this foot gets down, and she's going to hit. It's going to be like that. Heads down. Little mistakes. You see people in the blocks, they're looking like this. Well, if I don't change, if I'm down in the blocks and I'm looking up like this, if I don't change and I stand up, I don't run down a track like this. We're looking way down. Rounded backs. When they're in the blocks, I want to flat back. Miles came, like I said, Miles calls me a lot, sends me a lot of messages, which is a good thing. But he also came to me a year ago, 2 years ago, I don't know, sometime. We made a video. He came over and asked a bunch of questions. And you can find it on Rob's, I think it's on
ComicClinic.com.
It's on ComicClinic.com. Go to ComicClinic.com. And a lot of it is college related. How do you build a program? And another thing. So she's doing that. It looks good. Notice she doesn't have a fat baton. This is the fat baton. Because right here, when I go to hand off to coach, I can't. I only got this much. But if I'm here, I got the whole thing. I got this much more. I gain this much more. Okay? Here, if I'm handing off, to here. That extra 4. How many times has someone missed an exchange by this much? Because they're holding the baton here. Or, worse yet, they're running down the track, they get a fat baton, and they're running, they try to, and you know what happens with the baton. Another thing, you can't see it there, but with 4x1 and a 4x4, you set your blocks at an angle. I want those first 5 steps you come out in a straight line, which means, I probably should be over here somewhere you can see me, but right here, my left hand is back. So I'm in the blocks, I'm in an angle this way, even though the batons, the lane's here, the line is right there. Got it, Giles? Alright, but my hand, this hand's up here, my right hand's here, my left hand's here, because I want to stay square. Just like with the hurdles, you're always staying square. That's one of the things, you're a hurdler, you stay square, that's very important. But if I'm up here like this, I'm twisted. And I'm running those first 5 steps just like I'm coming out of blocks 100 meters. That's another 10th of a second you're going to gain. And I don't know, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with it. Again, go on Climate Clinic, and I think we explained that on there, didn't we? Yeah, alright. So, coming out, I'm coming out, because if I'm coming out of blocks, and I got to start running the turn right off the get-go, I can't run as fast. Think about it, if I can just run straight, or if I got to come out and I got to run over to there, which one's faster? The straight. So, you set your blocks at an angle, and boom, go. Baton's in the right hand, because, again,